And we are live. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Pedro and Hannibal YouTube channel. It's been a minute. You're looking
It's
at
been
this
a
guy
minute.
over here. Mr. Got 1,000 people in a chat talking about stuff. Well, not in this one, but it's okay.
One day,
One of these days.
we will have it here, and it will be crazy, man.
How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. It's Monday. My daughter starts school tomorrow, like preschool, tomorrow. So that's kind of, I guess, good.
Let me ask you a
So we
question.
got that going on. It's hot as
Yeah.
hell in St. Louis, but I'm good. It's good.
So, I mean, you already raised one child,
Yeah.
so you've
Yeah.
experienced this probably already. But I'll be honest, my son is 10. The first day, I don't think preschool I felt this, so probably
Yeah.
not preschool, but the first day of kindergarten. Now you look at me, you see me, you hung out before. You know I'm the most masculine, toughest man around, right? You've kind of said that, but I know you think that.
I actually, when I'm around you, I feel I feel a little less than. You're right. I feel a little smaller. I
Appreciate
feel
that.
like, God damn, I'm fucking Hannibal.
When I dropped my son off the first day of kindergarten, and you couldn't walk in the building, right? Because they do that, right? Only the children go in. I did get emotional because he kind of looked confused, not confused, but I was like, this is the first time that he's going into a building. I can't go in because preschool you can walk in, you can probably go into class. I'm assuming that's the one I went to, and I got
Yeah.
emotional, and
Yeah.
I had to tell myself, Hannibal, stop being a bitch and get back in the car and drive home. Do you think you'll have that? Or you like, I'm tired of this girl. Go to school.
No, I think with my first daughter, I remember meeting her mom at the school for kindergarten because she didn't go to preschool or anything like that. And I wouldn't say I was emotional then. It was more like afterwards, and then
Yeah.
like hearing about her day and like it's like wow, it's like time flew, right? This time, Ruby, she's been going to this school last year, and she only went one day a week. And Madison, her mom, goes with her for it's like only like 3 hours every Tuesday. But this year she's going Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Wednesday and Thursday she'll be there alone for like 4 hours. So, but the teachers are fantastic. The campus is like unbelievable. But I don't know how, we're gonna go tomorrow together, and I'll be there all 3 hours for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel. I think I'll be fine. The kindergarten is more of a big deal. I think
kindergarten
you leave them like the whole day for
that's it.
It's
like you won't you won't see them. You don't know what's going to happen, but they're fine. But I think that initial thought, I'm like, damn, I can't go in there.
Yeah. But to be honest, I think you asked like, but listen, our daughter is wild, bro. She's wild. You've seen her a little bit. She's a lot of energy. So I think it's good for Matt. Drop her off. Go do something for a couple hours here. Yeah. So I think it's going to be good for Madison. And it's going to be good for Ruby. Ruby's going to have to learn how to get along with people.
Get some independence, work, hang out with other people. Yeah, it's all a beautiful thing. It's just that initial, wow, this is it. It's getting to that point. Hector says that me and you should show our muscles to see who's stronger. Well, showing muscles, it's about real strength. So I don't know.
Should we do like a push-up contest or something?
Yeah, maybe we'll do a push-up. How many you can do?
More than you. But I think Hannibal probably has. I bet Hannibal might be able to bench more. But I think I can do more push-ups than Hannibal.
I could at least do 30 without dying.
Oh, that's pretty good. I mean,
I could do at least 10, 15 pull-ups. Like if a gun to my head,
like we ain't got no guns.
There's no guns. Like I'm gonna kill you if you don't do 15. I'm like, all right, boss.
That could be a fun little challenge, but
not basketball because you'll destroy it.
No,
I've seen your moves. I've seen you're like the Latin Jordan. Anywho,
it's called Manu Ginobili. No.
Yeah, right. Who is the Latin?
Well, he's from Argentina.
Yeah, who is the Latin Jordan? I couldn't. We should know.
He had a JJ Barea guy that played with Dallas.
Yeah, he was a solid point guard.
He's Puerto Rican. Ricky Rubio never really amounted to much, but he came in with.
He should have went to New York, man. He had injuries as well, but I felt like he wanted to be in New York, and he went to Minnesota. Who wants to go to Minnesota?
Yeah, he went to Minnesota and Cleveland, and he went to another.
He's all over the place.
Maybe the Suns. He kind of bounced around. I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, guys. I know you guys are sports. Hector, come on, let us know who is the Latin Michael Jordan. We should know this is embarrassing. And hey, you should be ashamed of yourself.
There's just not a lot. That's just not, there's not
Yeah.
there's not a lot to choose
Everyone's
from.
just like boxing or baseball, right?
Not really. Back in the day when I was in high school, so University of Massachusetts, UMass, right? So they had Marcus Camby, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
they had
Yeah.
two
Love that
Puerto
guy.
Rican guards, Padilla and Travieso, I believe. You know, that was their backcourt, and they had Camby, and they had one good wing. And UMass was really good. I think they were really good. I think they can be maybe.
Yeah, I think Camby's
Final
arms were
Four or
like as
something.
long as a
Crazy. Yeah, just
7-8 wings. I don't know, something
crazy.
Crazy.
But I
Okay,
remember
so
those guys because I was in high school, and those guys were like, "What?" And they were like little dudes and just balling all over the place, giving it to Camby, and you know, there was a good team. So I remember those.
Okay,
guys.
so Hector jumping in. He said he got Jose Calderon. Okay, I
Well,
mess with
Carmelo
him.
Anthony is he's half Boricua, so yeah.
Yeah, but come on, wait, see, come on.
Oh, what do you mean?
I'm just saying,
He
man.
literally has a Puerto Rican flag tattoo on the inside of his hand, bro. Like he's
all right. Hey.
So that's not a bad. That's not
all
a
right,
bad.
I guess that's it. That's it. We don't have to go anymore.
That's it. That's it.
Al
You don't get better than
Horford. Yeah, he's
Carmelo when it comes to that.
Dominican, I believe, right?
He's Dominican. Yes, he's from Dominican.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you should know this. You know,
Well,
you
I
should be
forgot
hitting
about
the names.
Carmelo.
Ginobili, Horford. Remember Nene? Huh? Anderson Varejao?
Anderson.
We're talking about.
Yeah, those guys aren't that good though. I was looking for something like top level.
Luis Scola.
Scola's, right.
Barbosa. He has some.
Leonardo
Barbosa.
Brazil. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Carmelo. I guess you would have to say he's. I don't know.
Yeah, he's
mixed,
it. He's mixed, but it still matters. It still fits. We say Tiger, and he's mixed. We take whatever it is that the best. If it's a little bit in there, you take it.
If it counts, it counts. Yeah.
It counts absolutely. Nothing wrong with that at all.
I'll take Hoodie Melo every day. I'm good with that.
I don't have much sports stories, but I did hear something that's kind of messed up. Who's that quarterback? Baker Mayfield. Have you heard about this?
I haven't. I know him, but I haven't. Is there a new story I don't know about?
Yeah. So him and his wife has recently filed a court petition in Texas to investigate if $12 million placed in this investment firm was misappropriated. Then they want to know where the fuck is our money. Well, mostly Baker's money. I mean, I don't think she's in the field throwing the ball, but whatever. They're married, whatever, right? Guess who works at this investment firm?
Let me see. So they invested 12 mil. Who works in that investment firm? I don't know. I know I'm gonna know the name, but give it to me.
Well, I don't know. I didn't know these names before. It didn't matter. His father, his family.
What?
He invested this money, and they're like, "Hey." He's like, "Hey, where's the money at?" And they're like, "I don't know." He's like, "All right, well, now not a lawsuit, but they filed a petition." He invested in his family as well. I think we all would, and they don't know, and he don't know where the money is. He's missing $12 million. Crazy. Imagine that you hang with your dad, like, "Hey, Dad."
Well, but so is it that so when you make an investment, as we all should know, it doesn't mean the money's gonna necessarily be there or it's gonna compound how they said. So did something happen and they're just. And the dad, they should know. That's a lot of money, right? They should know if something happened and why they lost it or why the investment went sideways or whatever. But does it mean it's all gone or they just can't? That it'd be interesting. But that's
when any like investment firms, they are investing things. They're taking their money. They're trying and they're telling you, hey, if you give us this much money, and we can maybe estimate. But if there's losses, there are losses. But I'm assuming for him to file the petition with his own family members, and I think it's not just the father, it's his brother. So it's the father and the brother that work for this investment firm is in question. So clearly, as most family members do, there's probably the breadwinner, the one that's making the most money, and the family member kind of comes to them and say, "Hey, listen, this is a great investment firm. Put some money in, and we're gonna 10x." People kind of embellish how much they can earn. And he's probably been asking for a minute, bro, Dad, where's his money? Like, what's going on? And they're like, "Yeah, it's working. It's cycling. It's going through. Don't worry about it. The money's working for us." And then to a point, we're like, "All right, I'm in a bad situation, right? I'm not. I'm sure he's still a professional. He's playing for the
Yeah, he's
Tampa
making
Bay.
money, but
He's
he ain't
fighting
making
for
money. He ain't making money like he should be, maybe, right? Like
right.
he's yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's fighting for a starting position, and it's not like he's like in this. I don't know who the guy he's fighting. He should be beating him, and that's not good. So I don't know if it's
Yeah,
the
I
off
can't
the field
even.
stuff that's not helping.
I don't think he's been that good in the NFL. I mean, he went to the Browns. I know he led them to the playoffs. That's a big
Yeah,
deal in Cleveland. But it's not like he's been putting up these crazy numbers. He hasn't been consistent.
it's not. Yeah,
Um,
consistent is the word. Yeah,
a lot of interceptions, So I don't
there's
know.
times that he play. I've seen some games he's balling out,
Yeah,
and but not enough of them.
yeah, no,
And see, I don't know if it's an attitude issue. I know there were some injuries. I don't know if it's a shoulder situation, some injuries. But he didn't. He obviously didn't. And then he went to Carolina, had one good game. I think he had one good
hmm
game, and I was like, okay. And then it went back to
And
him
then he
being.
went to the Rams last year. He
Well,
played a
no, it was
few games with the
Rams.
Rams. Yeah,
He
he
had a good
played.
game with the
He was with
Rams.
Carolina too. He was with Carolina
Right,
too.
right.
Then he went to the Rams, I believe, halfway through that season or something last year. Remember, he had one or two good games there too. But like,
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't want him on my team. I mean,
Yeah.
not good.
Hector says Baker Mayfield doesn't look like the smartest person in the room. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, what school he went to? I
He
couldn't.
went to first. He graduated. We went to Oklahoma, won a Heisman. But before Oklahoma, he was with another team. He transferred. He was with another big program before Oklahoma. Maybe he was
Yeah.
at Texas Tech, and then he went to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's when
He's born
he,
in Austin,
yeah,
Texas. So like this
yeah,
is this. I don't know. This is what bringing it up because family, man. It's when you start making some money and your family comes to you and you want to help them, you
yeah,
love them, you want them to succeed as way. Like, you have succeeded, and when they f up, like maybe they knew in the beginning, hey, maybe we should stop taking this man's money. We're kind of fucking it up. And I think what happens is, especially like investments and other things like gambling, you're thinking, shit, we just lost this, but you know what? We'll get it back. We
yeah.
get some little more money. We'll get it back. We'll get it back. And then it turns out that you lost $12 million of your son's money. I mean, that's just effed up. So hopefully
It's
they could
crazy.
tell him where the money went.
Yeah,
Right?
I think of you hear a lot of stories about like NBA players. You come in the league. Remember back in the day when you used to be right out of high school, right? There was that 5 or 6 year span where every year there was like 10 guys that seemed like they were coming right from high school into the league, right?
Yeah.
Some of them did okay. It was right after like Kobe and Kevin Garnett, right? And
Yeah.
then it was like a trend. It was like all these guys, and most of them didn't do well, right? They had all
Yeah.
this money. They're 18, 19 years old, all this money, and then all their friends and family come out of the woodworks. I want this, you do this. I got this barbershop I want to open up. I got a restaurant. I got this. I got that. I got a music studio. And all this money would go out, right? Thinking they'd either get it back or whatever. And then these dudes went broke real quick. A lot of stories. I
Yeah.
think ESPN or Netflix did a documentary about going broke or something like that.
Yeah,
And you
I
hear all
think
these
most of
stories
most
about,
of them go broke. I think
yeah,
it's so much money, but it's only for such a small amount of time. Of them, most of us lived to our 70s and our 80s. One that
yeah.
I remember really vividly was Sebastian Telfair. You may not know who he is, from
I do. No,
Brooklyn,
he
New
was from
York.
Brooklyn. Yeah,
Yeah,
point guard. Yeah.
he was basically a high school legend. Went in the
hmm
league, and yeah, he wanted to help everybody, all of his people. And yeah, he had financial trouble. I mean, I think he maybe still have some money, but
Yeah.
yeah, he went and remember he was supposed to be the next greatest basketball player. Next, him
He was
with
like the
like
next Marbury, basically, is what I
right. He was
remember
supposed to be,
about
and
him.
that just did not work out at all. But he talked about a lot of that, trying to help everybody. It's the MC Hammer thing, man. Like MC
Mhm.
Hammer got broke because he brought everyone from his place, his hood. You can't do that. You're not. It
Yeah.
doesn't work that way. But
So
it
let
is
me ask
what
you
it
a question. You got 12 million of disposable money, basically, right? To where you
is. Yes.
don't need it to live. Are you investing with your family, or are you
No.
going to invest with somebody outside of your family?
Someone who knows. It has to be a true talent. Like it has to be something.
Mm,
Like it has to be the way it should be. You come in with a business plan. You tell me how this is going to work, and if it
mhm.
makes sense, then we'll go for it.
So regardless of family, though, if it's a family member, you might still do it if it makes sense.
But it has to be someone I trust is not an idiot. I think we all have family members that we know cannot do what they're saying they're gonna do. Yeah. And then also they're not even asking for like something relatively like a safe investment. Hey man, I want to open a laundromat. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. You got the right area. People need their clothes washed, or let me do a convenience store. No, it's let me start a rap label, man. Listen, we're gonna blow up. Let's start this crazy club or restaurant. So that's where it's high risk. So come to me and say, hey, I'll let me I'm really into knitting and fixing clothes. I want a cleaners. I'm like, yeah, cleaners. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, but those are not, you're not may not necessarily become a millionaire doing that.
They're not flashy, but they could be in business for the next 20 years, forever. Right? So yeah, I mean, yeah.
So how about you though? Like,
I don't know. If I'm thinking of, I don't have anybody in my family. That's my immediate family, right? That works in the finance world or has businesses like that, that I think would bring me that. I have one person that is family adjacent that handles some things, and I've had conversations with him, and like that's who I would go to if I had some questions or like had a big sum of money I wanted to compound over years or start something. I know there's one individual, but that's like family adjacent. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're family, but they're not immediate family, and I haven't even known them for a long time. But I don't have anybody in my immediate family that'd be like, "Hey, here's $12 million. Handle it for me." I got no.
Yeah, no. Yeah. And also, it's two different things. Is this a gift or is it an investment? A gift, you don't have to worry about paying me back. An investment, you have to. It's kind of like you have to pay me back, or at least it has to make sense. So it has to be like, if you just need this money, but don't ask me again. I forgot who celebrity or who athlete said, if I give you money, you're not allowed to ask me for any more money. So if you ask for this is it.
Yeah.
I forgot someone said that.
I've seen a few people talk about that. Like Kevin Hart talks about that with his dad. I remember seeing a documentary or something. His dad was kind of in and out of his life, and he'd come and he always said, I'll give my dad money that I know I don't need to get back, or that, he's not worried about, or, but it's not a lot of money. It's a lot, but it's not like, it's like, I'm going to give you $12 million. Right.
Right.
But yeah, I also feel like you should be giving, if it's not an investment, like you said, it could be a gift. So maybe you're giving your mom and dad, you're buying them a house,
gifts is fine.
Mortgage, or you're giving them $1 million to maybe start something they wanted to do, or to retire early and travel. That's one thing, because you're not expecting it back. $12 million in an investment, you're expecting at least the money back, right?
And then that's it. He wouldn't have went to find out where the money is if it was a gift, because you gave it to the person. I think he probably thinks that they were not necessarily lying, but they were embellishing things. Hey, look, we know what we're doing here. Of course he's not drinking. Of course he's drinking peach watermelon.
Oh, this is for listen. What's wrong with this? What's wrong with peach watermelon?
I was gonna go in the comments and see what you were drinking tonight.
I mean, nothing wrong with that. Is this too fancy for you?
No, not at all. It's you. It's who you are, man. And don't ever be ashamed.
I will never. I bought 2 of them, so
it actually that does like it tastes good though. Hector said, Hector, you actually play with Sebastian Telfair? So we play with Lincoln High School. He cooked a shot at me. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Oh, he's cooking
Lincoln High School. I don't know if it's still the same, but it's like one of those the Brooklyn powerhouse. Like they just bred like really amazing basketball players. It's funny that, like I said, the idea. I actually had a video. I forgot to put it in. Some high schooler a couple of years ago was trying to talk shit to Brian Scalabrine. Oh, I could cook. I could bust you up. You ain't nothing. High school, black, black dude, athletic looking, whatever. And he played 1-on-1 with Brian, and the guy didn't score 1 point.
I saw that video. What Brian Scalabrine says, and I think it's true. I think we forget there's levels to this. Brian says he's closer to LeBron than anybody not in the league would be to him. As far as talent goes.
I saw a comment. Yeah. He said that guy probably realized that he probably not NBA material. I mean, that's a little bit harsh, but or like you realize that you're not nowhere near. You may think you are, but if a guy that rolled the bench and it was a crowd favorite is beating your ass,
Yeah.
then how are you going to get in?
Any guy in the NBA that even if they're not seeing significant playing time, or maybe they are and they're scoring 5-6 points a game, can go to any league in any city in this country and drop 40 points very easily.
Yeah.
Like,
Go across the pond, go to some
anywhere.
other leagues,
Just,
and they're scoring like Dwight Howard scoring 40 points, versus Taiwan, which is, like it's levels to it. So some people need to get some reality check. But let's just jump into women, huh? We love them, right?
We mostly. No, mostly. We love women. Absolutely, we love them.
So before we get into the Logan Paul stuff, and I'm not even sure if you knew too much about it because it's another influencer match, but at least one of the participants is a BJJ black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but he's boxing, whatever. We can get into that one because that is just a next level of trolling, and there's a lot of stuff going on. I saw this viral video of a woman, as a skit, a woman saying, I need some time apart. And then she kind of comes back to the guy. And I want to know, like, is this common? I think it, people say it's a common thing. And we'll talk about some relationships. So it's a minute long. It's pretty quick. I just want to play it, and I'll get your reaction after.
I think we should go on a break.
What do you mean?
Well, I want the comfort of you being there for me, but I also really want to hook up with this hot guy that I've been DMing lately. But if he realizes he doesn't want to be with me, then I want to go back to being exclusive with you.
Oh, okay. That seems cool.
Okay. See ya.
All right, sounds good. Babe, you're back.
Guys are such dicks.
Oh, no.
That guy that I was DMing that said he just wanted to rail me didn't actually want to date me.
No.
Or his friends. Tyler, Jimmy, Jerry, Michael, Jake, Chad, Joseph, Braxton, Malcolm Kellner. That douchebag broke my heart. I think I made a huge mistake.
Babe, who would have thought the guy you just threw yourself at with almost no effort on his part wouldn't want to date you? So are we back to being exclusive?
I think I'd like that. Wait, you didn't hook up with anyone, did you?
Of course not. I would never break your trust like that.
Okay, good.
Cool, I'm glad we're back to being just us.
Me too. Hey, I missed you.
Damn,
it's funny, but I mean, so I'm watching that. This is my first reaction. It's like, hey, man, she's for the streets. Like, she wants to have some fun, whatever. Maybe, maybe she's not a mom. She could do what she wants. But like, my girl comes to me saying, hey, I want to get smashed by these guys. I think this guy's been DMing me, but I don't want to affect us. But like, I want to try this. I mean, yeah, what is? I mean, are there men out here actually like, yeah, babe? I guess they're simps, and if they're
they're not gonna say it that explicitly, but no. I'm sure it's there. I need some space. I need some time.
Yeah,
you could definitely word it better. I mean, that was more of like an honest thing, but how that can work, right? Like, if she's not interested, and I've seen this often though. This situation where a couple will try to do the open thing, but the way they're doing it is to save the relationship. Like, there's problems, and they think, okay, let's try, a poly thing, an open relationship, and that always don't work. And no, it never works. If it's already problems in this relationship,
it never works. I think never is a strong stance. I think situationally it might. I think long term it might not. I think something might come eventually, whether it's 5 years down the line or whatever. But I think there are some relationships that if they're very open and honest, depending on how that relationship started, and if it continued to stay that way, and they had an open relationship or whatever, I think that can sometimes bring people together even more, depending on if it's really honest, like about everything, right?
Right.
I think, because I also tend to think men and women cheat. I think we cheat a lot. Right. I think most people have cheated or did something similar to cheating, and their spouse doesn't know about things. I think it's on both sides, men and women.
Right.
I think women tend to do it more when they feel neglected and not loved and appreciated. And I think men cheat overall because we're dogs. And it's just my opinion. I think men are dogs most of the time. I'm a dog sometimes. It is what it is. I'm just being honest. But I think I think if it's done and those conversations are handled appropriately, I mean, I think there are some people that have open relationships and it could last. I do believe that, but not in that situation, because I don't think a woman wants to be with a man that will be pushed around. I don't think most good women want to be with a man that you could push around. I don't believe that. Not long term.
Yeah, the reason why I say that when the open relationship starts in a negative way, because I was talking to someone at a bar a long time ago, and she's like, "Yeah, I cheated on him. We worked it out, but now we're open. But the one guy that I messed around with, I'm not supposed to talk to him anymore, but I'm still talking to them." So I'm like, well, that's not a good start. And he's like, yeah, I'm still talking to that guy though, but my husband doesn't know. Like, that's terrible. Like, that's not how that's supposed to be. Terrible. So it has to be based on some level. It can't. I don't think it should be based on someone fucking up and then now we gotta try to fix it. Like, because that's where it's the lack of trust has been breached. So that's why I say, like, open relationships are fine. Well, it was a really personal question here, Makwala. Would either of you have an open relationship?
Listen, I've never had one. I am man enough to admit I have cheated before in my past relationships. I'm not. Yeah, I know, right? Shocker. I'm not proud to say it, but I've definitely done that. I was in a relationship with a woman once, and she told me that if I needed hall passes, she would consider that, like, every 4 months or something. We had this whole conversation about it. I know, right? And I'm like, nah, I'm not. That sounds like dangerous to me. Right. It's so that didn't last. But
open relationships can work, but I think most don't. I think it takes a lot of self-awareness. It has a lot of transparency. It has to be where you can say, you feel, even if you are feeling levels of jealousy or you feel that, you have to be able to communicate that correctly and have difficult conversations. And most people can't do that with anything, not just relationships, having difficult relationships, to be honest when you made a mistake or did something wrong, or it has to be some level of boundaries. It has to be some level of dynamics. It can't just be do whatever you want, because both people have to agree on that. So I definitely think it's possible. So I would have one, but I think most people need to be honest with themselves. If you want to be a dog or you want to be out there in the streets, then don't get in a relationship. But some people want everything. They want the cake and eat it too.
I am that guy. I want everything, and I've learned that I don't deserve or need all of. You have to give your. You have to understand that's not normal, and it's not worth a short term, whether it's a few weeks or a month or a year, of what you think is exciting, to fuck up something that's long term, right? Absolutely. Like that. I've told you this before privately, and I think maybe publicly here. All I require as a man right now from a relationship is I require peace. That is the thing that I need. I'm very open with that in my relationships. When I come home, I require peace, and I let people know what that looks like. And I do a lot to make sure that when I do come home, everything is set up to where I can have peace. So there's a lot of work I have to do on my end, but like the peace, you have to understand that just because you think you could do this or cheat or do that or possibly ask for an open relationship, you have to understand that there's a balance, and there's going to be some things you're going to have to weigh, and there might be some negative things long term. And that's what I've learned, at least. But everybody's situation is different. But
I love the idea of peace. I may ask my chick about that. Hey, how about this thing called peace? When I come in the house, you stop asking me 10,000 questions and why this is not done, or what, Hannibal, I need this. Hannibal, I actually literally said that today, and then she got annoyed, and I had to, hug her and tell her it was okay. I'm just
let me ask you a question. Is there anything you could do to have those questions not happen as often?
If I ain't show it back up,
just not show up.
I literally said this today because I'm like, Carla, all you keep telling me is Hannibal this, Hannibal that, but I said if you weren't here doing that, I would miss it. I would miss you bothering me. And she looked at me and was like, what's wrong with you? So I don't know. Well, I don't know the response I wanted, but
yeah.
So it's things you complain about, but if they weren't there, it wouldn't be the same. So
absolutely, man.
and obviously there's issues that we need to fix, and it's not necessarily about our relationship. It's our situation, getting stuff together financially, getting moving, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of that, she wants peace. So when she doesn't have it, she lets me know.
Yeah,
there's no peace.
That's a good woman, bro. Right? That's you want that because it pushes us, I believe, as men to try to do things differently, right? And then if you're giving her peace, you're probably going to get some of that in return. I think, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think that's good. But like also like the nagging though, or whatever we want to call it, right? All the questions, that shit.
That's what I call it.
It sucks. It sucks. It's not fun.
I'm sure I'm nagging too sometimes. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hector says open relationships are for people looking for a better sexual experience. I don't know if it's for that. I think if it's better, then again, that's an issue. Like if you're going there because whatever your current situation is bad, then that's the thing. I think people like variety. Yes, look at it as a bag of Doritos, right? Yes. You can eat Cooler Ranch all the time, but then sometimes you want spicy nacho. Sometimes you may want the nacho, the cheese. You may want to try that weird green thing, that green chip that people like.
Yeah.
So that's my interpretation of it. But if
listen,
you're looking,
I love fried chicken. I like steak. I don't eat that shit every fucking night. So that's why some people
it's good to have good steak at home. You want good steak. Yes, I'll say that.
No, yeah,
you don't want.
But we're animals, especially us. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting to have an experience or to think about a woman or a man. Like, it's about what your actions and your intent are and your communication with your partner, right? It's all about being open and honest. I believe that, you have to pick, you just got to pick and choose. But like, I don't think there's anything wrong with lusting or wanting or being curious. I think that's very normal. It's just what you do about it. Are you with a person that's going to understand you and understand that you're flawed and that you might have some whatever, and how you handle it together is really important. I'm not anti-open relationship, but to your point, I don't think most of the time it's not going to work. I wouldn't say never though. I think sometimes it can.
Yeah,
but
I guess if someone came to me, it's kind of like gig work, right? Like, should I be full time at this? I'm like, all right, let me tell you what's going to happen. It may not work, all right? It's actually, it really depends on your market. Speaking
of your market,
listen, we may have to need a conference in Houston. So Hector says a lot of people in Houston are swingers, and I've been asked a few times, and if I was interested, that's why I stayed my ass home. Too many weird people. So if it's that weird, Hector, we may have to do the conference in Houston because I just not for science. I'm not, just talk about it for the podcast.
Listen, I know about the whole pineapple upside down. If you go to a house and there's upside down pineapples, that is a swinger sign. I don't know if all of you guys are aware of that. If I just taught you guys something. If you go to a party or somewhere, and you go to the door and the doormat, the welcome mat is a pineapple, and that motherfucker is upside down, or if you walk into their home and they got pineapples on the wall and that pineapple is upside down, those people are highly likely to be swingers. That is the sign.
There's a fucking orgy party over there.
So look out for upside down pineapple.
I'm traveling looking at football.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I just gave you guys some knowledge. Okay.
Well, so have you?
Don't ask me how I know.
Oh, I'm not gonna ask you. My fault. Okay. My fault. My bad.
We're good.
Maybe next time. Maybe after a few drinks.
Maybe after the live.
Yeah. This is the orgy I ran into. All right. Let's get into the main. Let's go on because actually it kind of connects a little bit. So I know Pedro is not really into the whole influencer fighting, boxing, YouTuber type fights but you did watch the Jake Paul one, and it was a decent fight. Wasn't bad.
It was fine. Right? I enjoyed it. It was okay.
Yeah, Jake Paul is a pretty. He has rudimentary skills.
Yes,
but he has really good athleticism.
Yes,
and
he's an athlete. He is an athlete, and he works really hard. I got to give.
You just need his cardio to get. If you're gonna, 10 rounds, and he was kind of getting gassed. You want to get that cardio up if you would actually want to be a professional boxer, because that's where professional boxers are doing. They're going to do 12 rounds. But we're not talking about we're not talking about Jake. We talk about Logan Paul. So Logan Paul is going to fight. I think it's September versus this dude named Dillon Danis. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion. Now, Logan hit him with some, because he does the same kind of trash talk his brother does. I think Logan's probably a little better at it because he's doing wrestling. These guys are multimillionaires, YouTuber, thousands, millions of views.
Yeah.
He's doing pretty well. I think Logan, he's up there. He's gonna make. I don't know if he'll be a billionaire, but his moves and he has prime energy drinks. The guy has
the prime energy. The prime energy is what will get him there if that happens. That's a big. Right. He's making a lot off that. Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess he's boxing because he just likes boxing. I don't think he necessarily needs it. I think they have a pretty good deal where they're making a good amount of money. But anywho, Dillon Danis has been trolling him to the nth degree. Now, Dillon Danis has trained with Conor McGregor. I don't know if Conor told him what he should be doing, but he's taking the trolling to a next level. So Logan Paul has married this supermodel named Nina Agdal. I'm gonna put some pictures up of her.
I know who she is. I'm familiar. With her.
I don't know models, man, but apparently she's a foreign model.
Swimsuit. I mean, I think she was on like Sports Illustrated. I've just seen her around.
She's around. Cute girl.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what Dillon has been doing is been posting pictures of her with. She's been around. I'll say that.
So like with other guys that she dated and things like that.
She's been for the she's 31 years old. She has dated Leonardo DiCaprio, Max George. Apparently that's a singer. Adam Levine. Apparently she was rumored to be with Dan Brazilian, an internet celebrity. Jonas, one of the Jonas brothers. But what Danis has been doing is just going on Twitter and posting picture after picture after picture.
Damn.
To a point where
that's his wife. That's his wife now. That's his wife.
And that's his wife. He proposed to me a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And you know what? Before we get more into it, are we just hypocritical assholes that we can look? And these are not Photoshop pictures. I mean, some of them are Photoshop when she's with Albert Einstein, like kind of funny jokes like that. But she's pictured with a lot of men. Are we being hypocritical, or is it just a double standard? That looks kind of weird. Why would Logan Paul decide to have that? If you see her rumored with that many men,
I think we're being a little hypocritical. I think if she's 31, she starts. Let's say these pictures go back when she's 20. It's 11 years. I mean, so what? She can't date one guy a year. Like, does that make her a whore or something? It doesn't in my book.
Right.
Just because she's dating somebody or there's pictures, like we don't know the whole faction of that relationship. How long was she with this guy? Is it just dating? It's not our business. I think it's a little different if she has like a whole bunch of kids with all these different guys, then maybe her lifestyle is a little different. Her decision making is different, but I don't think that's the case. So I think he's just trolling, because if you got a wife, you don't want to see pictures of your wife with another man, even if it's from 10 years ago. It just doesn't make you feel good, right? Yeah. Especially if it's different guys and it's a lot of, but I don't feel like it makes her look bad.
So let me show you one little video real quick. I love this guy, Paul Christopher. I forgot the last name, but I want to get a good minute of explaining the whole situation, and then we'll kind of bring it back to see what. And he's basically explaining what I just said, but obviously a little better. Let me see if I can get this right. Okay.
YouTube star and celebrity boxer Logan Paul has finally picked the wrong battle when he insulted his next opponent, Dillon Danis' girlfriend. The two are set to face each other in the ring in October, but many are saying Logan has already thrown in the towel, and it all centers around one crucial issue: body count. Logan proposed to Danish supermodel Nina Agdal last month, but Paul's attack on Danny's missus led Dillon to draw attention to Agdal's long and somewhat colourful history with other men. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of other men.
I actually don't like sleeping alone. I can't really sleep because I don't know what it is. It's always been like that. Like, I always sleep better if there's somebody next to me.
Maybe she just gets lonely. Agdal's detailed dating history was seemingly overlooked when Logan decided to pop the question.
I sucked a d in a football stadium full of people once. Only thing better than dessert is sex.
I don't really think penises are that pretty, so I prefer you to hide it inside casually.
Fuck around and find out has taken on a whole new meaning. Leonardo.
All right, so actually, again,
it's funny.
What do you think? What do you think? So Logan must have seen these interviews, seen all those pictures, see who she's been around. If that was your boy and he said, "Yo, I think I want to take this relationship to the next level," what are you telling him?
How much of that she's saying is for the internet and to be funny, and if it's true, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand, like, people say things for jokes, right? So, if I'm Logan Paul, she's a beautiful woman, right? We don't know her personality, but they're in love. I'm sure you're gonna propose. You're in love. Like, it is what it is, right? People have their matches or whatever. If I'm somebody that has, basically, we've talked about this before. I could if I'm Logan Paul, I'm young, I'm rich, I'm handsome, right?
Yeah.
I can kind of pick from my shelves. I got a lot of groceries on
Options,
the shelf, right?
You have options.
A lot of options. And when you
Young
have
man.
more money and you're young, you have more options. He has a million more options than Hannibal and I. Let's just call it what it is. He just does, right? So I'm probably going to want to date women that maybe don't have as much of a history, because that's just how I am. But it doesn't mean just because she dated a lot of guys that she's a bad person or something. I don't know.
No one's saying that.
I think he's done a good job trolling. I think he's picked some clips.
I got another video of him. Yeah, he's trolling extra hard. He's doing Conor McGregor level. Bobby says, damn, she need to keep some of those stories to herself.
That's why I think she's just talking shit. I don't know if that's. I mean,
I was like, okay, look, young lady, because that's what you're like, all right, young lady, how about we just. All right.
Not say it out loud. Yeah.
I mean, you're a model. I mean, unless she's doing comedy, I don't think so. It seems to me, it sounds like.
But I don't want to go to her defense, but I do want to play devil's advocate for a second. Okay, we're all adults here, right? Most people like to have sex. We think about sex thousands of times a day.
Right.
We do that. Okay, so just because somebody might outwardly say things that we think, but we're not comfortable saying, doesn't mean that we're like better than them. We're all having sex, so I don't really, sex to me is not, it's not a big deal. This is not a big deal. I don't think she should be shamed in any type of way. She doesn't seem like, this is the first time I've heard of her, but I don't feel like there's all these stories of her being some kind of hoochie mama. Like, I don't see that. I see it with, I see it with other people. What's that one girl? Like, got PJ Washington, Brittany Renner, is that her name?
Yeah.
Like, she talks about things in a more crazy fashion.
Yeah, but that seems like more of a manipulative way to get guys to pay her money, which I'm sure this is a supermodel. I know she's not. I mean, of course, none of those men look broke. Yeah. They're all very famous. So she has a type, right? Yeah. I'm not saying she's a gold digger. Way over town. But she digs, you know what I'm saying? Like,
way over town. It's on me.
So, but patterns, I think, is important, right? Also self-control. Yes, I have no problem thinking these thoughts, but saying them out loud, they got some level of self-control. Like, of course, we look at a woman walking down the street. Yes, we would like to say something or say it out loud about what we would like to do with her, but we do have some level of self-control. Like, we're not animals. She may not want to hear that.
But he might just be, they might have been dating and she got that good and he just can't, she's a supermodel, she crosses all the boxes.
She's attractive. I mean, she's very attractive, supermodel. People, people are into that.
Maybe he's just, he doesn't care about the past,
Oh, this is a good comment right here from Bobby. Do you want to know your wife's entire history? He says, I don't.
I don't feel the need to know all of that. Nope, I do not. My girl's got a past. I know that. I know some things. I don't need to know all of it. I don't feel the need to know that. I just don't. And I don't ask.
I agree, but I'm nosy. I would like to know. But I agree. But I would like to know.
Yeah.
Just being, I'm into this person. I would like to know all the weird stuff, but I understand it's not my business. But I would like to know. But I wouldn't bother. Like, I wouldn't ask a 10,000. That's usually when you're young, and you just you're bored. Sometimes you're talking to her, and you just nosy, like, hey, what have you done?
Well, let me ask you a question.
She says something that you don't like, and then you get all butthurt about it.
We're talking about body count. You put that word up. It's in the description.
Right.
Is body count, like, is there a number that is too much? What do you guys think in the chat? Hannibal, because the whole thing, you ask a guy what his body count is. He says 10. It's only 5. You ask a woman, she says 10 is fucking 30, right? That's kind of the thing, right? So is body
Yeah.
count something that should be relevant when you are considering marriage or a significant relationship?
Since everyone isn't completely honest, it has to be behaviors that you can see, whether how she or he handles themselves in public places,
Mm.
what other people are talking about. When if you with a girl and this dude's like, "Yo, I saw her at the club. I saw her over here, or I saw her over
Yeah.
there." Then you got to take those things into account more than the number because we don't know. Everyone likes, like I said, men tend to embellish, women tend to
Yeah.
subtract. I think what Chris Rock said, they don't count. They only count domestic dick. They don't count. They go. They don't go. They don't count. They go international on a vacation.
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, just like
Okay.
it's. I thought you just talking about domestic dick. So we all are not honest with ourselves with that. So it has to be a pattern of behavior that you are either cool with or not. Where some men are not going to be cool with her, the way she is really out there with her sexuality, or saying, you know, dicks are ugly, but I'd rather have them in my, you know.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
I mean, a man may not be find that attractive, but
Yeah.
some men do. Obviously, Logan
Yeah.
Paul has no problem with it, but I do think the amount of trolling can hit him emotionally because he is not
that's
stopping.
the point. That's the point. They're going to fight, so he wants
And-
to have that advantage in the ring of him thinking
Right.
about that or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and Dillon, he's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Promise, this is a boxing match.
Yeah,
But at
that's the
least-
thing is these brothers, they fight guys that aren't boxers. It's
Smart,
weird.
man.
And then when they do, the Fury beat
Yeah,
Paul,
he beat him.
right?
Yeah.
So come on, this is weird. It's all entertainment, which
Yeah.
boxing has been like that. It's like this merge of this like new wave of WWE, which I believe Logan Paul does WWE, right?
Yeah,
I've seen him.
he's actually
Yeah.
pretty good at it too.
Yeah. I mean, he's super athletic and he's big and
Yeah.
you know he's charismatic and that's what WWE is, right?
Right.
But it's like this fusion of WWE and boxing. That's where we're at right now, and it's for entertainment. I think we all need to realize that they don't need to be the best athlete or the best boxers in order to push the needle and sell the pay-per-views. I
Yeah.
think that's what
But
we're seeing with the Paul brothers. So
We had that in the 90s. I felt like the way Tyson was going after Lennox Lewis, like Tyson was talking some really, what are you talking about? Eat your babies or eat your, I don't know what he was talking about. He lost.
Muhammad Ali was the biggest shit talker ever, and he's the
Right.
GOAT. So
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
in boxing,
back it
this
up,
is
though.
very, very similar. It's very common. Yeah.
But like I said, now it's more of the social media aspect. So I'll show one little video of Dillon going after his Logan Paul finance fiance.
He posted nudes of his girl, bro.
If anything, I'm showing her off.
I know.
They weren't great tits, but like, I mean, come on. I was like gonna praise him because like, you know, I'm all about like trans and like LGBTQ and everything. So I was gonna be like, oh, this is awesome. He like has a fiance that's trans. So I thought she was. And then I looked it up and it was a girl. And then I started seeing all the stuff. So I was like, oh,
She's gorgeous though.
I thought she was like a man.
Do you feel bad for her though? Like, I feel like the nude shit is just like
she did it.
Or
Are
not?
you gonna wait for mom?
I don't know. Maybe if
I'm
they're,
marrying-
if they're
I'm
bad,
marrying
and I
a
fall in
virgin,
love
bro.
with them.
Wow. That's
So
worse.
he's
What he
going
just said
deep.
there,
He's
going deep.
cutting
Yeah.
very deep. And but going back to you were saying about entertainment, is this all bullshit? And we all just two dumbasses that believe this, and a lot of people believe this. So I can consider. Now I'm considering, should I purchase this fight, which is going to be, I guess the undercard is going to be professionals, and the main card is going to be these two dumbasses fight, and I may actually purchase it.
I
Am
think
stupid?
between the two of us, there's one dumbass combined. Yes, I think we're half dumbass situationally between you and I. I've seen enough and we've talked enough, so I think that's how I would answer that, right? But I don't blame them for. You want to get exposure. You're trying to get the clicks, the views. You want the pay-per-views. It's a bigger check, a bigger percentage of the ticket gates, or however they do this. You're pushing merchandise. You're pushing this. So it is. I think it's part of it. It's very WWE boxing kind of. That's just what they do. It's entertainment. And so for me, it's all the laughs and jokes. And he's telling her she looks trans and like a man like that. You don't want to hear that about your woman. You just don't.
Right.
I don't care how confident of a man you are. Like you don't want some dude be like, hey, she looks like she's trans, or like she's like a man. Like I thought it was a man. You don't want to hear that about. Even if she's smart, you don't want to hear that. You just don't.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting. I want to get to Hector's comment earlier. He said, if she's in the teens, she's for the streets. is what Hector says. So
yeah, I mean, and a lot of the past history, all those people that she was with, or she's a model, so she's probably been a model probably since 18. So this, hanging out with all these celebrities has been her whole stretch, and maybe she's looking to settle down. Maybe she's looking to, like I said, settle down. But your history is your history, right? And do people change? Some people do, some people don't. I don't know. I'm considering checking out this fight. It's October 9th. I may waste my money. Oh no, October 14th.
How much is it? Probably $60 or
probably something
more
stupid.
than that?
Yeah, right. Yeah, probably around that much. Because what else am I gonna do? What else am I gonna do? October 14th. What am I gonna do?
Who knows?
I might as well go in, or at least go to David Buster's.
Right. Go to David Buster's, sit at a bar and watch it.
You know what? I have to pay money for that though. I may.
You know what? We actually got really lucky because remember we walked in that place. They were busy, right? So I'm going to paint a picture for you guys. So we're in Denver. Jake Paul was fighting the Diaz brother, and we're like, hey, let's watch the game. Let's watch the fight. So there's a Dave & Buster's down the street from the hotel we was at. We go, take an Uber, we go. This place is packed. Neither one of us ever been in there, right? Packed. Yeah. We walk up to the bar, and there's a couple sitting at the bar. And it was funny is I worked in the service industry for a long time, managed places, did bartending, serving, and I see the bartender, and this couple has waters in front of them. And I don't know how long they had been there, but they had been there. They hadn't maybe ordered anything, and they just probably were there, I'm assuming, to watch the fight for free. And we were there, and I think she looked at us and was like, all right, I want those guys to sit because I think they're going to spend money, and this couple's not going to spend money. She literally told the couple, hey, it's a fight night. You can't stay here for free unless you're going to order food or whatever. I remember her saying that, and then they left, and me and Hannibal got really good seats right at the bar.
Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention, but that makes sense. I mean, why put people in a spot where they're not going to make, and we there, obviously she knew what time we were there to check out the main event. Yep. So I may probably check out that fight just to see, does the trash talk rattle Logan? I mean, it's possible. That's your girl, man. It's a really powerful emotional connection. If they actually really are, I mean, he did propose to marry this woman, so the emotions could be high. And this dude is like, I don't give an F. I don't, and a lot of people don't like Logan. They don't like him.
I'm not. I actually prefer Jake to Logan, if I'm being honest.
Right. Logan has been involved in, but I think Logan had basically pushed a crypto scam, and he hasn't fixed it. He did that weird video that he was in Japan and suicide. So there are people who do not like him for probably legitimate reasons. So I think a lot of people are. It's kind of similar to the no jumper guy. Adam and 22 with his wife. Yeah, where they're just destroying Adam for why would you allow her to have this scene with this really tall, big,
all about money, man. That was just all about clout,
right? Was it worth it? So this situation here, she's not really. Apparently, her account been locked on X or Twitter. I don't know what you call it now. So I'm sure she's not happy with this. Basically, you're in hole. And even though just because you're dating someone, you're dating someone every year, it doesn't matter. You're exclusively with somebody.
That doesn't make you a hoe. It just doesn't. But that's my opinion on it. Especially if it just is. We're not gonna, we're talking about boxing. We're not gonna. Most of us guys aren't gonna find Adrian's from Rocky out there that you find at a fucking pet store, and she's never dated anybody, and she's cute, and she takes the glasses off and says, "Oh, she's." Come on, you're not finding that, right? So you're gonna as men, I think we have to be confident enough to understand women that we court and might possibly want to marry or have a significant relationship are gonna have baggage, prior relationships, the same way we do. Not all, but some. And it is what it is, especially in my opinion, if you're dating somebody in the industry and entertainment, a supermodel, she's going to be out dating, partying. There's going to be pictures. There's going to be stories. That's part of it. If you want to achieve to be with a supermodel, she's going to be pictured with men and be dating because that's just how it is. So for me, I don't have an issue if I'm dating somebody that's 31 and she's been with some guys. That's not my problem, and I don't have an issue with it. So
I would say that as a young man that's still working, probably putting tons of hours, doing all types of things, you shouldn't attempt to settle down until you are out of, not to say out of that game, but you have to make sure that you are doing the due diligence, that you're not just trying to marry or try to be with the hottest woman around, because it shouldn't be about that. Or just if it is about that, then just keep your option open. Do what I think Derek Jeter is one of the greatest athletes of all time, for on the field and off the field.
Yeah,
he dated every person that he wanted, and then after you finish, you settle down and you finish. Then you decide to have because relationships are commitments. And if you're committed to WWE and your boxing and all that type of thing, and you're like, well, to complete this, I need the hottest chick with me. No, you don't. You could just like continue to do what you have to do.
Well, you could have the hottest chick. It doesn't mean you got to marry her, right? Because when you do that, that's a whole nother ball game, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that's, I mean, if think about some of the celebrities or women that we think are attractive and we might like to date or whatever. They got history. They got past.
Everyone does, yeah.
You could date them, but maybe you don't have to marry him. And I think the issue is he's proposing, and then this guy's saying, "This is your wife." Well, look, this is what she was doing, and that's where the trolling comes in.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of it, and it's gonna go on for quite a bit because we're still in August. So, like, how far are you gonna take it? I'm sure they're gonna be doing some face-to-face, some press conferences. We'll see if he's taking it seriously when they do some of those conferences. You could say if he's tense and angry, or not his usual jovial self. If he still keep the WWE persona, then I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. And even the last time Logan Paul fought, he fought Mayweather, and that wasn't a real fight. That was like an exhibition.
It was exhibition.
I didn't even bother watching that. It looks stupid. Hector's dropping some gems. Women do a great job hiding their secrets, especially Dominican girls from Washington.
That sounds super personal.
That sounds like you have a story to tell, Hector. You need to come on and let us know, in case that we all have to look out for. I mean, you never know. You could be helping someone that be checking out this podcast.
You could be. That's legit. Yeah.
The next show I want to talk about, because I think I showed Paige this a couple days ago. Ghostface Killer said the greatest storytelling rap song he ever listened to was Nas Rewind. And it's funny because I was actually listening to that a couple days ago before that, and I'm like, damn, that was a good song.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that we should do a list of the top 5 storytelling story. I need a better title, but it has to be a story. It can't be just them talking shit. I guess most rap, right? Just talking shit about, like a true story. From beginning to end, they're explaining something. They're painting a picture that's so vivid.
So what comes to my mind? Obviously, there's that song, but let me see. Hold on. I gotta look. I know the song, but I gotta give you the name, like the actual name. It's Biggie. We all know it when he's talking about being the New York Knicks, and I wind up. I got a story to tell or whatever. Anyways, that to me, beautiful because it's the details in it. So that's the first thing.
So if we can come up with 5 of our own, and I think ours is going to be all over the place. I don't know if it'll be, because there's some that are from artists that, like, there's some dark ones, man. Like, off the top of my head, Immortal Technique has a few. That's dark, man. And
this is
like
good.
Some of
I
them
think
depressing.
There's a lot to choose from. Yeah,
right. And I don't know if I'll find one that's funny. I don't remember a funny story, but usually it's crime and something serious happened. But I think we can find like 5 really good, storytelling songs, and they all have them. Some good, better than others. I don't know. Drake ever had a good one. Like, I'm thinking of Drake stories of him actually rapping. I couldn't think of it.
No, I mean, right? Is Ice Cube's? Would you consider his Today Was a Good Day? Is that a storytelling? He's talking about a day.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people.
That's a good one. You could
pinpoint that day. Like, did that happen? He's talking about the Lakers and the Supersonics. Like, I've seen people go down a rabbit hole with that song to pinpoint what day on the calendar was he talking about. So I think there's a lot of really good ones. So I think it's a good topic.
I mean, Today Is a Good Day is a pretty good one. I mean, because he lives in an area where they don't have that many good days. So when nothing goes wrong, I'm sure other people probably look at it and it sounds good. Like, no, that's one of those things where no one died. He didn't get robbed. He didn't get shot. He won his game. He got the girl. He
Yep.
played basketball, played better.
Cops didn't mess with him.
Yeah.
And
people don't, you're not from that environment. You don't get it. But like, no,
his mom cooked the breakfast. I mean, like everything. He started his whole day was good. And then remember the music video at the end, like you see the cops and everything.
Yeah, the cops. Yeah. So that could be a number one, but I think we'll get some good ones. Hector needs to come with some story time. We have a segment, story times with Hector. He said, I have a few. Let's just say I paid attention to high school instead of cutting class and going to Times Square. Yeah, I wasn't cool, so I didn't do that. If I ever cut class, I went home just to play video games because I was a nerd. But mine playing tricks on me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Scarface, right?
Yeah,
Scarface.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be.
And then Bobby said, "You better have Slick Rick." Yeah,
Slick
I mean
Rick.
the art of storytelling. Yeah. So we're gonna probably piss you guys off.
Yes.
Ghetto Boys. Yeah, we're gonna piss you guys off. We're gonna say a bunch of songs. You're like, what happened to this one? What happened? Hannibal, what's wrong with you? Are you on drugs?
Fine.
Why you said that one?
It's fine.
So
we want you guys to not like us sometimes. It's okay.
Sometimes, but no, I think I'm gonna put some effort in this one. I'm gonna come up with some really good.
Don't set
songs.
yourself up. Don't set the bar too high, bro. I mean,
well, you already kind of. I mean, you can say number one is Ice Cube, but who's gonna say you're wrong?
nobody.
Right?
I could say my number one's Biggie or Slick Rick, and we got some great suggestions. So I think the difference between 1 to 5 isn't going to be that much.
Right.
So I think there's some really great ones. So I think it'll be good.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you for hanging out with us for this hour. We'll see you on Wednesday. Time is flying by. We're already at the end of August. Enjoy the rest of the summer, because who the hell knows what's going to happen in the fall? I'll tell you that right now.
Who knows? We got football coming up, which will be fun. That's always exciting.
Oh,
so
always fun. And
like it. Yeah.
Hopefully Baker gets his money. Hopefully.
I'm indifferent, I guess.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna say,
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't give a shit. Like,
he'll be fine. He's rich still. It doesn't matter. It's his dad. He'll figure it out.
Fair enough. All right, guys. Enjoy your night. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. Peace.